case briefs, and so much more. LSData's got what you're looking for.
In a fascinating turn of legal events, the complex case of Veit v. Commissioner found itself before the U.S. Tax Court in 1947. The crux of the dispute lay within the multi-layered intricacies of tax law and income ownership. At stake was a sum of $55,000, earned in 1939 but received in 1941, and the question of whether it constituted community property or separate property. The defining factor hinged on the state laws where the couple established their domicile, bringing the controversial doctrine of constructive receipt into play. The petitioner in question received the $55,000 as compensation for services performed while he resided in New York, a non-community property state. He later moved to California, a community property state, compelling him to question under which state's laws his income should be evaluated. The issue began in earnest when the petitioner and his wife reported the $55,000 for taxation on a community property basis, thereby prompting a legal dilemma. The doctrine of constructive receipt argued that a taxpayer is liable for the income tax, not when he receives the income, but when he has the right to receive it. The petitioner, who altered his contractual arrangements with his corporation in 1940, didn't receive the income until 1941. This gave rise to the legal question of whether the principle of constructive receipt could be applicable. In a decisive ruling, the court sided with the petitioner. Focusing on the period when the income was earned, they decreed that the $55,000 was the petitioner's separate income. They bolstered their verdict by expressing that the petitioner's property interest in the sum was irrefutably established whilst he was domiciled in New York. Additionally, they declared the agreement as a valid business transaction instead of a tax avoidance scheme, thereby diluting the applicability of the doctrine of constructive receipt. This verdict marks a pivotal interpretation of the interplay between tax laws and state property laws, inevitably influencing similar cases in the future. The court upheld the rights of the individual over the ambiguities of the tax system, citing circumstances and location as key factors in its decision.
Case briefs, and so much more. LSData's got what you're looking for. Visit lsd.law, elevate your mind. Leave the stress of class.